Good evening, everyone. Excuse me. If you're all listening, you're listening to RedPill78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News special live stream pre-show edition of the State of the Union 2019.
An hour away from President Trump's
Whoa.
anticipated address, and we're bringing you team coverage all night long. We're expecting
Hold on.
President Trump to double down.
Where the heck?
A handful of hot button.
Okay. Can you hear me? Is everybody there? Can you hear me? Can I get a 5x5? I am just getting things. Hello. Okay, looks like you guys can hear me. Great. So I've got the stream all set up. We're going to be watching with Fox once this begins. But for right now...
At the State of the Union, or will the Democrats troll the president
Oh,
and steal
hold
the show?
on, hold on.
We've got so many
That's a
of our very
problem.
favorite Fox Nation faces with us tonight here on set.
All right, so we have to remove that for the time being. Once it goes live, we will be back. All right, excellent. Looks like you guys can hear me. That's great. All right, and I'm just checking my stream health. Everything looks good. We've got 480 people here with us tonight. Let me make that a little smaller so I can see it. Great. Oh, looks like I already need to thank Richard Cook. Richard, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that all of you were here waiting for me. Hey, Lady Warrenon. Hi, everybody. Tony Devine, Karma Anon. Good evening. So glad to see all of these familiar faces. If everyone would please do me a solid, appreciate this show and support this show by giving it a thumbs up. Also, by spreading it on Twitter or your favorite social media places, and tag it with hashtag SOTU 2019. That's State of the Union 2019. That way we can get the word out and we can get as many people here as possible. We have enough people to begin. Before I begin, though, I need to say, hey, Warwolf Ulfnadar, thank you so much for that super chat. He says, stay alpha. Stay alpha is right. We got no betas up in here. So, you guys, I have some amazing news. Amazing. This is quite literally one of the best days of my life. Holy tamale. This is real. Elizabeth Warren claimed Native American heritage in State Bar of Texas card. We have the documents. It is signed and dated. This is another piece of excellent reporting from Christina Layla at the impeccably timed Gateway Pundit. Amazing. I see lots of faces out there in the audience. Everybody is saying hello. I do appreciate you folks. Someone had sent me an article today, real quick. Someone sent me an article today about a vape pen exploding in this dude's hand. And it's not funny. It's only funny to me because I vape. So the vape exploded in somebody's hand and it killed the guy. Horrible, horrible stuff. I want to let everyone out in the audience know that I use a mod box. My batteries are charged in a manner so that it keeps them nice and even. So I'm not going to blow up anytime soon, guys. Okay, so now let's get to the news. Holy crap, fraudster caught. Here it is, her actual bar card. Lady Warrenon, I love you, my friend. Thank you so much for that super chat. Elizabeth Warren, she signed her Texas state bar card right there. And she says she's an American Indian. Elise, that is my daughter's middle name. Thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate your support. Elizabeth Warren, not a Native American. Let's just get that out of the way. She is not a Native American, but she claimed to be. Democrat elites take Elizabeth Warren out at the knees. This was a brutal hit against a serial liar. Washington Post reported this tonight. Too bad it came from the Washington Post, but you know how they are the newspaper of record for the clowns. So they obviously don't want Elizabeth Warren to be in the 2020 election against probably HRC because, you know, they want her in that office. Clint Gilbert, thank you for that super chat, my good friend. So using an open records request during a general inquiry, the Washington Post obtained Elizabeth Warren's registration card for the State Bar of Texas, revealing Warren identified as a Native American Indian. Elizabeth Warren apologized for claiming to be Native American for nearly 2 decades as she struggles to put the scandal behind her as she prepares to announce her 2020 presidential bid. Well, something tells me That is going nowhere fast. Elizabeth Warren is not going to be running for president. There is no way that she can recover from this with all of the race baiting that go on out there in today's world. Elizabeth Warren is done for. She might as well be Governor Northam running for president. That's not going to happen either. Warren apologized to the chief of the Cherokee Nation last week, marking the first time she has ever apologized for falsely claiming Native American heritage. She rode that wave for decades, and now it has come to a screeching halt. Sorry, Elizabeth. All right. Now, it's only fitting that we begin today's story with some pregame warm-up from the Daily Caller. Here's what we know about Trump's State of the Union address. We have over 1,000 people in the chat right now. If anybody who's watching this would please be so kind to support my broadcast, do give this a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you have the ability to. Diana Davenport, the magic number, 1717. Happy State of the Union, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. I hope your nephew's recital was good the other night. Well, let's see. What does the Daily Caller say? Well, President Donald Trump's State of the Union address Tuesday night, tonight, at 9 o'clock, will review the apparent accomplishments of the past 2 years in office and include an appeal to Congress. Whoa, hold on there. Keep up the great work. Where we go on, we go all dark to light. And that name is a rowdy Texan. Thank you very much for that super chat. Jason Piercy, also, thank you for that super chat. Do appreciate that, folks. So Trump's address will have a theme of choosing greatness, and that is what we do every day in this country, you guys. As MAGA people, as supporters of President Trump's agenda, we choose greatness every moment of the day. I wake up every morning and I consciously choose to be great and to push forward in the agenda that President Trump has set for us. And you know, I'm not listening to anybody who tells me that President Trump is anything but the best possible president that we've ever had in the history of the United States. It will be hard to top this, and tonight I am so looking forward to seeing what President Trump has to say for us. Now, this will also feature a prolonged review of the administration's foreign policy achievements and vision, spanning North Korea, Venezuela, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the fight against the Islamic State, and the U.S. presence in Syria, and the future of the U.S. role in Afghanistan. Mommy Patriot, thank you so much. I'm glad to see you here, too. Glad everybody is with us tonight. Oh, wow, we've got over 1,300 people in the chat right now. Can someone get me a count on the likes? Let's take a look. So the president is scheduled. Actually, he'll be going on at 9:10 this evening. One official briefed on the speech said Trump is also likely to deride recent Democratic state legislative efforts to pass late-term, starts with an A, ends with an N legislation, and appeared particularly animated about the topic at a White House meeting Monday afternoon. The president laid into Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's apparent endorsement of the policy in a recent Oval Office interview with the caller, saying, "Do you remember when I said Hillary Clinton was trying to rip the baby out of the womb? That's what it is. That's what they're doing. It's terrible." And he was right. That is exactly what they're trying to do. Now, a senior administration official previously told reporters that Trump is expected to say to Congress, "Together, we can bring decades of political stalemate, we can bridge old divisions, heal old wounds, build new coalitions, forge new solutions, and unlock the extraordinary promise of America's future. The decision is ours to make." White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders also said Tuesday morning that the theme of Trump's address will be a call to unity and for action by Congress. The White House has budgeted approximately 45 minutes for Trump's address to Congress, though with applause and normal delays, it is likely to go past that mark. Yes, it probably will. First Lady Melania Trump will also be in the House gallery with several guests. Melania is such a class act. Listen to this. Whose presence is tied to themes with the address. These guests include those affected by crimes perpetrated by illegal immigrants, families affected by the opioid crisis, victims of bullying, law enforcement officers, and former felons released after passage of criminal justice reform legislation. Wow. What a wonderful woman she is. I hear there's also going to be a little kid who survived brain cancer. Susan J. McFarland, thank you very much for that super chat. Yeah, if we can get up to a 50% like ratio, guys, that would be great. Richard Hurst says, keep up the good work. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. Now, the full list of guests includes Deborah Bissell, Heather Armstrong and Madison Armstrong, family members of Gerald and Sharon David of Reno, Nevada, who were killed by an illegal immigrant. Matthew Charles, who was a former drug dealer, who was the first prisoner released under the First Step Act. Grace Eline, she's a child cancer survivor. 27 Sparkle, thank you for that super chat. We've got Ashley Evans, a mother who is celebrating 1 month sobriety. Good for her after spending much of her life addicted to opioids. Elvin Hernandez, a special agent with DHS specializing in combating human trafficking. Jinxie B says, thank you for your work and integrity. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys, and I forgot, Steph Fraun in my live stream the other day had sent a super chat at the end of the broadcast, and I didn't see it. So, Steph, I hope you're watching, buddy, because this is my shout out to you. I'm sorry to hear about your brother, but if he doesn't want to take the red pill and he's going to take that blue pill, maybe it's time to let him go. He will come around once he realizes how wonderful Trump and his agenda is. They have to. If they don't come around, then they're liable to just suffer a long and painful death from Trump derangement syndrome. Now, we've also got Roy James. Roy is a plant manager of the Vicksburg Forest Products lumber facility, which closed down until it received assistance through the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. Also, Timothy Mattson, he's a SWAT officer who suffered multiple gunshot wounds while responding to the October mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue. I'm interested to see that guy. I haven't seen him before. Judah Samet, a member of the Tree of Life Synagogue and a Holocaust survivor. Joshua Trump, Joshua Trump, the 6th grade student who was bullied for his last name. The kid is not related to President Trump, but he has a wonderful last name. Okay. I'm so glad they're bringing him in there. Tom Wibberley, he's the father of Navy seaman Craig Wibberley, a seaman killed on the USS Cole, victim of terrorism. Alice Johnson received clemency from President Donald Trump after serving nearly 22 years in prison for a non-violent drug offense. Oh, you guys, I should probably turn on slow mode because this is going really fast, you guys. Hold on just a sec. We're going to get the chat back in just a moment. I'm just going to put it on 25 seconds slow mode, okay? That way it'll be easier for me to see these as they're going by. Done and pop out. Okay. There we go, guys. There we go. That was just blazing by. I can hardly see it. Okay. Now it's a little bit smaller. Let's make that text a little bigger. There we go. Now I can see it. All right, guys. So now, overshadowing the lofty goals of Trump's address, however, is his ongoing showdown with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi over funding for his proposed wall along the U.S. southern border. Pelosi has pledged not to negotiate with the White House over a requested $5.7 billion in funding for the border wall, with Trump now poised to declare a national emergency when his self-imposed deadline of February 15th expires. I need to say, Far North Weaver, thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you for the kind words. She says, good job. Good job. And then Deanne Sievert says, wish I could do more. Thank you for all you do. That's fine, Deanne. The very fact that you're here is support enough for me. I do appreciate that super chat. You guys can always like, share, and get my videos out to other people. And then we can go ahead and bring more eyes onto this message that I'm trying to deliver. You know what, you guys? I wanted to check something because it was possible that I might have hit this special number today. No, I'm almost at 90,000 subscribers, you guys. I'm at 89,753 subscribers. That is incredible. I started this journey a little less than a month and a half ago, maybe almost 2 months now. So to get that many subscribers with their eyes on my material every day and the material that I share from other reporters, it's just amazing to me. Yeah, your buddy Pokey Sanchez. God, why does his name have to be Pokey Sanchez, Mike? I felt horrible about that. I had a couple people say that they were really upset with me that I laughed, but I tried to make it very obvious that I was laughing at the name Pokey Sanchez and not at any of the people who were hurt in that awful fire or the plane crash. So I hope that anybody that heard me laugh in that story understands that I was laughing at the ridiculous name Pokey Sanchez. And if anybody's name out there is Pokey Sanchez tonight, I'm really sorry, guys. That's hilarious. I can't stop but laugh at it. All right, so now here's some more breaking news, folks. This is a report from Sean Hannity. Mueller's top deputy briefed on the Trump dossier months before the 2016 election. Okay, so this tears the whole narrative apart. Yes, Lenore, we know he does not have to do a national emergency. You're right. I wanted to talk about that. Okay. So not only is the wall already being built by the Army Corps of Engineers and by the many thousands of soldiers that have been sent down there, they just sent out another like 3,700 soldiers, and they don't need to declare national emergency. But the thing is that it is worthy of a national emergency, you guys. Like I've been saying this whole time, Trump has been trying to raise the national consciousness. He wants people to understand that this is about not just keeping out illegals. It is keeping out drugs, human trafficking, sex trafficking, child trafficking. These things are so important. How many people per year die because of these things? How many people suffer because of these things? And the Democrats, all they can do is they just want to obstruct Donald Trump because he's Donald Trump. Peter Piper, thank you for the super chat. 27 Sparkle and 10 Pray for POTUS. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Excuse me, you guys. Man, I had a heck of a day, you guys. MAGA Light, keep up the great work. Trump is our lighthouse. That's right. Number one spark in the dark for sure. Thank you for the super chat, brother. So here's the thing. I know that President Trump does not have to declare a national emergency, but it is worthy of a national emergency. Okay? President Trump was probably, in my opinion, thinking about declaring a national emergency because it's so important. All right? For all of us that have, realized what's going on, what's at stake right here, all the others who don't realize it, maybe it's going to take declaring a national emergency to get them on board, to have them realize just what a serious thing this is. And someone just gave me a super chat, but they have no identity. That's very strange. Well, thank you, whoever you are, Anon. That is truly Anon. They retracted their message. Guys, how do you even do that? How do you even retract a message? I've never been able to do that, but I see that all the time. Well, $1.99 Anon, thank you very much for the super chat. And if you can, get another question, get another question in or say something that you want me to call out on air, I'm happy to do that for you. Thank you for the support. Okay, so let's take a look. Andrew Weissmann. We've got some multiple things about Andrew Weissmann tonight. But newly released congressional testimony revealed Tuesday that Robert Mueller's top deputy, Andrew Weissmann, was informed in August of 2017 of the now debunked Trump dossier, raising serious questions over how the information was compiled and handled by the Department of Justice. Newly confirmed congressional testimony reveals that Andrew Weissmann, now a top deputy in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, was briefed in August 2016 on the opposition research behind the anti-Trump dossier, underscoring how early and widely the Democrat-funded research was shared among senior FBI and Justice Department officials, reports Fox. Kathleen Hagan says, so excited, it's today, another President Trump State of the Union address, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And Patricia Furlong says, never done this before, LOL, it was me. I'm glad you figured it out. Thank you so much for the super chat, both of you. So it goes on to say that the DOJ official, Bruce Orr, was asked about such briefings during a closed-door interview with House lawmakers in August 2018. In the interview, details of which have only recently emerged, Fox News has learned that Orr revealed he met with Weissmann and other DOJ officials shortly after a July 30th, 2016 breakfast meeting with former British spy and dossier author Christopher Steele, adds the report. The revelation comes as Senator Chuck Grassley told reporters he expects to see Mueller's Russia report within a month. Wow. So this means that the whole narrative of when the dossier crossed these people's desks is fake. It's fake, phony, and false. So now we've got some additional news about Andrew Weissmann. Hold on. Let me find it. Where is Q-Tips? Here is my brother Q-Tips. So did you guys happen to catch my video this morning? I put out some information showing that Andrew Weissmann is the one who leaked the indictment of Roger Stone and the impending arrest to CNN. And I had talked briefly that it's probably been done to entrap these people and get them, because this guy really should have known what was going on. April P says, recovered fentanyl addict 2009, last man standing of way too many, build the wall and get help if you need. Exactly. April, I am so glad that you chose to live life on life's terms and that you are here. Remember, all it takes is one day at a time. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so let's take a look at this metadata. Let's see what this is about. There we go. So here's a copy of the metadata that shows CNN obtained what came from the FBI and not the courts. So Roger Stone's attorney says, I received a call from CNN political correspondent Sarah Murray informing me that Mr. Stone had been arrested. At 6:14 a.m., he says, I called Mrs. Stone and she confirms the CNN report. At 6:22 a.m., I received a link from CNN correspondent Sarah Murray to the DOJ website where the indictment is posted. It is important to note that the current copy posted there has the PACER filing confirmation in the header of each page, indicating a filing date of 1/24/19. The copy that currently appears on the DOJ website is now different from PACER docket entry number 1, as the original in PACER was replaced with a scan of the original with signatures and stamps. Kathleen Hagen says, hit that like button, Patriots. Yes, please, if you would, hit that like button and help get this information out to more YouTube eyes. Now at 6:22 a.m., he says, I received via text message from Sarah Murray of CNN what appears to be a draft copy of the indictment, as it has no PACER filing notations in the header. See attached. It's right there. This makes the document provided to me different from the copy currently on the DOJ website and would appear to be prior in time to filing and unsealing. It is unknown how CNN had obtained a copy of a sealed indictment without a PACER filing header. Additionally, the metadata of the document sent to me, also attached, indicates that the author was AAW and that it was created and modified on 1/23/19 at 11:04 p.m. using Adobe Acrobat PDF Maker for Word a full day before it was filed with the court under seal. Boom! Andrew Weissman getting caught. Courtney Neal says, always enjoy listening to your show. Thank you so much, and thank you for the super chat. And Cindy Lou who? Is that you? She just gave me a super chat. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. So now, and I'm going to go back to this. I think that probably because Mueller is Team Trump, a gray hat, but he's been forced to operate for Team Trump, he probably, gave this information, or Andrew Weissman created it, and then they said, go ahead and leak it. Andrew leaks it to CNN, and then it becomes painfully obvious that Andrew Weissman is the leaker. Andrew Weissman is the one breaking the law. And Andrew Weissman is the one who's about to get rolled. Okay? Awesome stuff. Tim Morgan says, keep up the good work. Keep hitting them hard. You bet I will, buddy. Thank you so much for that super chat. Okay, so now this is a follow-up on a story that I did the other day. It was just a tweet from Matt Gaetz. But Matt Gaetz said that he was planning on introducing a bill that would make it illegal, that would level the playing field for people who were caught lying to Congress. That if you'd lie to Congress, you're going to get the same type of punishment as you would from, another person that lied to Congress. Doesn't matter if you're Hillary Clinton. Doesn't matter if you're Roger Stone. Let's see. So, Republican Matt Gaetz is calling for fairness in punishment to those who lie to Congress, signaling out former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, former FBI Director James Comey, former Attorney General Eric Holder, and several others. Introducing a resolution this week, Gaetz pointed out a longtime ally to President Donald Trump, Roger Stone, who pleaded not guilty after he was arrested for 5 counts of lying to Congress, while others go unpunished, according to the Washington Examiner. Oh, hey, cool. Let's take a listen. Let's see if this works.
And he joins us tonight. Congressman, am I imagining this, or is lying to Congress as common as the sun rising? Is anyone ever charged?
It happens daily. Yeah, I thought Robert Mueller was supposed to be investigating Russia collusion. Now he's become a glorified hall monitor, enforcing the provisions of lying to Congress. The problem, Tucker, is that he's enforcing them unequally. And so I'm introducing the Justice for All Act, which would create criminal referrals for the other people that we know have lied to Congress. Hillary Clinton said that she didn't send or receive any classified email. We know that's a lie. Jim Comey said he was never the source or never the director of leaked information. He later admitted that that was not true, even though it was the subject of his sworn testimony before Congress. And you'll remember Clapper told all of the American people before Congress that there was no bulk collection of data. The deputy director of the FBI, Mr. McCabe, he lied 4 times. He lied.
All right, you guys, if you are having troubles with the stream, my health is perfect, okay? So please make sure that you refresh and then come on back in. I see that I lost like 600 people in like 2 seconds. But hopefully you guys make your way back. Can Red Pill go to a backup? No, this is the only channel I have, guys. So, unfortunately, it seems that we have a two-tier justice system at work. Matt Gaetz is so right on. He knows exactly what he's doing. Certain people have the book thrown at them, while others face no consequences at all for their behavior. Now, this is unfair and wrong, and I hope to correct this with my resolution. Gaetz's Justice for All resolution, HRES 97, calls for those lying to Congress to be prosecuted equitably. That stops today, Gaetz wrote on Twitter discussing his bill. Let's see. My Justice for All bill requires equal punishment for those who lie to Congress. Teddy Vile says, it's a girl. Don't let my name fool you. Teddy, I actually thought it was because of the I, but thank you for the super chat and thanks for the clarification. Now, Hope for US, do you have a question in the phrase of a number, 20.19? Thank you for the super chat. According to the resolution, Comey claimed he never authorized anyone to leak information to the media, despite reports from the Office of the Inspector General indicating his response was likely untrue. Clinton said, there was nothing marked classified on my emails, either sent or received, but it was proven untrue by the FBI and the Office of the Inspector General, according to the resolution. Now, additionally, the resolution states that Holder provided false information about the Fast and Furious program, along with 2 other instances of providing false information. Okay, so everyone, Lady Warrenon says, I got off your channel and got back on to solve the live stream problem. Okay, so I am getting some people back. We were down to like 1,300. Now we're up to 1,600. Hopefully everyone that got kicked out was able to come back in. But still no broadcast here on my end. See the chat fine. Randy Butler, go refresh your screen, refresh the browser, and then come back in. Because my health is doing good, guys. I really wish that they weren't screwing with me like this. But Gaetz's resolution also targets former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former CIA Director John Brennan, former Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe, and former Director of the Exempt Organizations Unit of the International Revenue Service Lois Lerner. All right, so I really hope that this goes somewhere, okay? If there was ever a bill that it was worth voting for in Congress and passing, this is it. All right, you would think that the people in Congress would want people to be telling the truth to them and would want them to have to be held accountable if they didn't. I made it back, can't stop MAGA. Cynthia Pappas, thank you for the super chat. Great comment. Oh my God, you guys, we're down to 1,000 people now, 1,040 people. Hopefully people come back in. Oh, man. All right, so this is from my friend The Sharp Edge on Twitter. Anon posted a theory on the board. This would explain POTUS's recent tweets about no cave, as well as several recent events. Of course, this is just a theory, but I find it very interesting. All right, so the no cave operation. So our favorite Anon team monitored all of Comey's comms, and it allowed them to gather intel about the Taheb and other MK Ultra human bot threat, the related presidential assassination attempt, and the drug supply chain at the southern border. Joshua Garcia says YouTube keeps kicking us. Man, I'm so sorry, guys. All I can say is try to refresh your screen and then come back in. I see that we are slowly getting more people coming back, so hopefully, hopefully it doesn't continue. My kitty is actually asleep in the other room, Patriot Lady Biker. The initial plan for Nancy, Adam, and others in the know officials was to evacuate the U.S. with their families while chaos was spreading. And wow, it just even reset for me. And when I looked at it on my end, was to evacuate and with their families and the chaos around the country, especially around the White House. Mark D says dark into light. And David Lassiane says where we go when we go all. Thank you both for the super chats. Okay, so this evacuation operation, evac on, was reversed by POTUS with the mirrored command, no cave. Oh my gosh, look at that. No cave is evac on backwards. So this consisted of 1, grounding Nancy's plane. 2, publicly disclosing her destination to prevent her from leaving the country and thereby forcing her to try to put a break on all contracts. 3, pushing her to cancel the State of the Union to give the time to the Anon team to neutralize all the identified threats and reschedule it at the date pre-planned by POTUS. Michael Martin says, can I get a shout out for your dog Schooner? Hey Schooner, what's up, brother? What kind of dog you got, Mike? And here from Canada, this is one of our Leaf buddies right here. All right, so the No Cave operation was a military intelligence success and resulted in the arrest of Tahab. That was the gentleman who was trying to go to the White House to assassinate the president, and other sleeper cell members. The dodging of a major countrywide terror crisis, and a historic fentanyl bust at the southern border. These three components are proof that our favorite Anon's team has heavily compromised the deep state's capacity to maintain, renew, and use its network of false flag human bots and general infrastructure. The No Cave operation was also a political success. It allowed POTUS to get his State of the Union without losing the government shutdown leverage. After the 21-day period, he may still shut down the government if needed. He then may use his lethal card for other purposes behind the scenes, ad vitam aeternum, and as long as the Dems do not loudly confess the wall is already being built. Are you tired of winning yet? Wow, we just lost another 600 people, guys. They are really, really giving it to me tonight. So I'm going to vape. Oh, man. So listen to this, guys. It must be over the target. Must be over the target. So listen to this, guys. I worked, and then I tried to get home and take a shower before this broadcast tonight, and my hot water heater stopped. Like the pilot light went out. I had to go get it back on again, and I ended up taking a shower, but it was a very, very cold shower at that. But yeah, they really are messing with me hard tonight, guys. We're back up to almost 1,500 people though, so that shows that I have some very loyal viewers, which is great. That's awesome. So we're just gonna check over here on these super chats. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, you guys. Oh, I did. One of them didn't show through. Mama Wolf, there you are. Every time you say the word POTUS, it freezes the stream. Oh, man. That's like the best thing to say. Hopefully, no, Joe, this did not start over. I am still going. The stream is still strong. I am not going off the air tonight. We are going to watch the President's State of the Union, and we are going to continue with the news. Mommy the Patriot says, keep calm and vape on. I'm standing in the middle of Walmart watching your live stream and vaping. No, Red Eagle, I don't have a smart meter. I have a hot water heater. No, I don't have a smart meter. Susan Miller says, thank you for all your hard work. 1776, that is a perfect number right there. Yes, and Karma Nan says, each time you climb up to 1.6 thousand, it boots us. Well, we're almost at 1,600 again, guys, so just be ready. YouTube is a disgrace. Yeah, this is unfortunate that they're doing this. You know, I've got stuff that people want to see. And, yeah, I'm not going to blow up. I'm using my mod box, you guys. It is perfectly tuned. Now, I'm only seeing 1,755, but Maggie Ray says 1,960. So here's a tweet from my friend In the Matrix on Twitter. And he says, Anon notices something interesting. The Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, POTUS noted this as the year of the pig. I am vaping vegetable glycerin, guys. I'm not vaping cannabis. I personally don't use cannabis. I know that cannabis is wonderful medicine for a lot of people, but it's just not for me. Deborah Simmons says, now you know they consider you a threat. Yes, Deborah. Thank you for the super chat, and that's correct. You know, they used to not block my live streams, but now they are they're downgrading them as soon as I'm done, which means that not as many people get to see them. But you guys are my diehard fans, and so you get the opportunity to watch this, which is very important. Muffin does not vape, no. Dana. Cheryl Sneed Gebbies just sends a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. We lost another 500 people. Let's see if it climbs back up. How many likes do we have, guys? The likes are down to 500? How is that even possible? All right, so it keeps freezing. I have to cut out and come back in. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. And I appreciate the fact that you're sticking with it through this, because watching the commercials interrupting. Why are commercials playing on it? That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how it's playing commercials while I'm live. So POTUS noted that it is the year of the pig. It's interesting that HRC was born in the year of the pig. Now, more interesting is that numbers 1 and 7, or combinations of 17, are unlikely numbers for pigs. That is pretty interesting. So President Trump put this out, just showing that happy Chinese New Year. Melania and I send our greetings to those celebrating the Lunar New Year. Today, people across the United States and around the world mark the beginning of the Lunar New Year with spectacular fireworks displays, joyful festivals, and family gatherings. This is a sacred time for many people of Asian descent, and it is an opportunity for all Americans to honor the important contributions these communities have made to the story of American greatness. Tons of commercials. Why is it playing commercials? Why are they even doing that? Jean Marie Todak, appreciate you much. God bless. Thank you so much. Okay, so I got some people saying that it's, horrible. I got some people saying that it's not. LJ, what's up, brother? My friend LJ might have a project he wants to talk about sometime in the future, guys, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Now, President Trump marks the spectacular thing here, saying that it's the year of the pig. We join in on sharing our best wishes for good health, prosperity, and happiness. Bree, I don't understand how it's even playing commercials. It's not supposed to do that, as far as I know. And I never see commercials on live streams. 4 other live stream subscriptions on the top of my feed, but yours is 20th. Wow. Well, next in this little tidbit here, Hillary Clinton was born in the year of the pig. She is a pig. Okay. So let's see. Please ask Patriots that's not participating in live chat to turn it off. Maybe this will free up some bandwidth. All right, guys. That's just an idea from somebody out there. Somebody says that if you're not participating in the chat, if you could just close the live chat and just watch the stream, that perhaps it would be better, more bandwidth for us. Dennis Clymer, thank you for that super chat, sir. I'm a new red pill. Can we impeach Congress? God, I sure hope that I think that there's a lot of people that are not going to be in Congress here before too long. Hope for us. Thank you for that super chat. I believe that there are impeachment proceedings that can be taken against these people. But, commercials play when we refresh. Oh, okay. All right. So sorry about that, guys. All right. So next, unlucky things for pigs. The colors red, blue, and green. Those are colors that Hillary Clinton does not agree with. And then unlucky numbers, 1 and 7, and numbers containing them like 17 and 71. So how interesting is it that it's the year of the pig? The pig's going to get hers. And the number 17 is unlucky for her. That's President Trump's lucky number. Georgia Peach, hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for that super chat. Glad you're here. Glad you made it. So let's take a look here at our next story. Oh, yes. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. I did touch on this a little bit earlier. This is, Mama Wolf says, seems like cycling through cutting off different groups of people at different times. We'll keep coming back. All similar channels have had commercials during their streams today. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Mama Wolf. That's really strange. I've never had anybody report that before. So, did you guys hear about this? This guy, Jussie Smollett, who happens to be a really good friend of Kamala Harris. He was in Chicago the other day. He went to Subway in the middle of the night, and he made this wild claim that people dressed in MAGA hats came and attacked him. First of all, he said that they recognized him from the TV show. They said, hey, you're that, that gay man from the TV show. And then they came at him and they beat him up, and then they tied a noose around him, but then they let him leave with his sandwich. Okay, so anyways, the police now promise charges against Jussie Smollett if he filed false report because the suspicious rope plays a key role. The Jussie Smollett hate hoax assault is heading towards a disastrous conclusion. There he is right there. Actor Jussie Smollett arrived in Chicago last Monday night. He was out to get fast food at 2 a.m. when he was allegedly attacked by 2 Trump supporters in MAGA hats who recognized him in the freezing cold, beat him, poured bleach on him, and put a noose around his neck. Now, it was -15 to -30 degrees wind chill on Tuesday morning. Smollett said what's important about that right here. Smollett said the mysterious MAGA men poured bleach on his head, but bleach freezes at 18 degrees. So the weather on Tuesday was a low of -9 degrees. Frozen bleach will not pour. Okay? Will not pour. That's right, MT. He still had his sandwich. Now, if somebody came to beat you up in Chicago in the middle of the night, wouldn't you think that they'd probably take your sandwich and be like, give me that sandwich, give me your sandwich. And they just happen to be walking around with a noose and a bottle of bleach. Thomas Bryan said, heard Trump is going to shut down internet for 10 days. Anyone else heard that? Thomas, I don't believe that that's true. I have not heard that anywhere. And, Crystal Lynn, look at that. I bet Red Pill is gorge. Well, I don't want to, I don't want to seem like shaking my own tree, but I have been told that I have, very young-looking skin, and it complements my boyish charm. All right, so Jussie Smollett said he was assaulted and suffered a cracked rib, but condo surveillance videos show that Smollett was walking past security to the elevator without telling them he had just been attacked by thugs who beat the HE double hockey sticks out of him and broke his ribs. God's Guy, my good friend God's Guy, he gave me a tip on a story in my earlier video today. Can we just nuke the Democratic Party? Obviously don't need them much. Bro, Gina says hi, RP. Hello, Gina. Thank you very much, Guy. So on Saturday, Smollett admitted that his ribs were not broken. This was complete crap, just like the rest of the story. So Michelle Malkin, I love Michelle Malkin, guys. She's awesome. Last night, Smollett publicly admitted his rib was not broken or fractured, a fact first reported by TMZ based on sources close to Smollett and spread like wildfire by lib narrative-driven media. How many will correct? Let's see. So apparently there were supposed to be two men, both white and wearing ski masks, viciously attacked Smollett as he fought back, but they beat him badly and fractured a rib. They put a rope around his neck, poured bleach on him, and as they left, they yelled, "This is MAGA country!" Guess what, Jesse? It is MAGA country, but MAGA people are not going to do that to you. You know why? Because we've got an above average level of intelligence. Us MAGA people are not going to be stupid enough to walk around and do that stuff. Also, because us MAGA people, we want to unite people. We are not looking for people to beat up in the street. We are not Antifa, all right? Oh my God, booted 17 times, Richard Hurst. Mind blown. And Jussie was carrying his Subway sandwich when he arrived home. He saved it during the alleged assault. Jussie Smollett said he was talking to his manager during the assault, but he won't turn over his phone. Also very suspicious. Also very suspicious. The Associated Press reported that police had released images of persons of interest from surveillance camera footage, but were unable to find footage of Smollett being attacked. Cindy Whitehouse Witter, or is that Whitehouse? W.H. Witter. Demon rats are planning to bring an illegal with them to the State of the Union. Oh, I know, I heard that. If true, POTUS can have them arrested. By law, they have to call a recess for the State of the Union. I'm pretty sure she brought some illegals last year, too, some DACA recipients. So we'll see what happens. I really hope that he doesn't turn off the... No, vaping is vegetable glycerin. I used to smoke cigarettes, guys. I quit smoking cigarettes because of the fact that, I needed to get healthier. I needed to, stop using nicotine. And so I switched to... I need to stop smoking tobacco. So, but I still smoke vegetable glycerin in a... whatchamacallit? The pen vape. The persons depicted in the police video were said to be walking away from the scene prior to 1:45 a.m. And CWB Chicago says a consideration regarding the potential persons of interest being sought by police in connection with a reported hate crime incident in Streeterville. The men were walking away from the attack scene 15 to 30 minutes before the incident, per police timing of events. Jussie refused to turn over his phone. All he would have to do would be to turn over his phone, and then the police, would be able to prove that he had been assaulted. Now, this says the manager and him, they said they were on the phone, but they can't prove that. Jussie claims he got his ASS beat in negative 15-degree weather, but at least they didn't take his sandwich. Courtney Neal says, keeps buffering, can't stop the truth. Where we go one, we go all. That's right, guys. You can't hold this down. Chicago police announced they will charge Jussie Smollett if he lied to the police. Emmy Award-winning Fox 32 anchor Rafer Weigel reported, Superintendent Eddie Johnson says Jussie Smollett is still being treated as the victim in this case, but if the investigation does reveal he made a false report, he will be held accountable. Christine Miller says, thank you for bringing the truth to patriots. Thank you for being here for me to bring the truth to you guys. I appreciate it. Now, you guys, I said earlier in the broadcast that I was very close to hitting 90,000 subscribers. The State of the Union starts at 9:10. You guys, if there's anybody in here, I doubt it. I think everybody here is probably a subscriber. But if there's anybody here who is not a subscriber, would you please consider subscribing to my channel so that I can hit 90,000 subs on the date of the 2019 State of the Union? Keeps going. YouTube angry that we keep spilling the red pills. That's right, Maria Littlefield, and thank you for the super chat. They are angry, but we're going to keep plugging away. And police are looking closely at the rope, this is important, that Smollett was wearing around his neck when police interviewed him. Chicago police say they are trying to match the rope that was around Jussie Smollett to its point of origin to see if there's surveillance video showing the person who bought it. This entirely vicious story has now been revealed as a complete hoax. Will the lying liberal media ever correct their narrative? And will Jussie Smollett ever come clean? Wow. I think that it'll be 9, ooh, great gazoo. It's at 9:10, but he's going to probably actually begin speaking at that time. All right, so this is a very important story from Zero Hedge. A UN official admits that global warming agenda is really about destroying capitalism. Wow. They are really giving it out this time. A shocking statement made by a United Nations official, Christiana Figueres, at a news conference in Brussels. Figueres admitted that the global warming conspiracy set by the UN's Framework Convention on Climate Change, of which she is the executive secretary, has a goal not of environmental activists, is not to save the world from ecological calamity, but to destroy capitalism. She said very casually, "This is the first time in the history of mankind that we are setting ourselves the task of intentionally, within a defined period of time, to change the economic development model that has been reigning for at least 150 years since the Industrial Revolution." She even restated the goal, ensuring it was not a mistake. "This is probably the most difficult task we have ever given ourselves, which is to intentionally transform the economic development model for the first time in human history." So what economic development model are they talking about? They could only be talking about capitalism. I was invited to a major political dinner in Washington with the former chairman of Temple University since I advised the university with respect to its portfolio. We were seated at one of those round tables with 10 people. Because we were invited from a university, they placed us with the heads of the various environmental groups. They assumed they were in friendly company and began speaking freely. Dick Fox, my friend, began to lead them on to get the truth behind their movement. Lo and behold, they too admitted it was not about the environment, but to reduce the population growth. Agenda 21, guys. Dick then asked them, whose grandchild are we trying to prevent from being born, yours or mine? All of these movements seem to have a hidden agenda that the press helps to misrepresent all the time. One must wonder, at what point will they press release that they are destroying their own future? BabyLove78 says, we need fur baby pics, my friend. You know what? I was trying to get some to show for you guys, but it just didn't work out for today because I didn't have enough time to prepare. But on Saturday's show, I promise you guys, I'm going to make a little photo album of all of my pets, and we'll go through them, and I'll show you all the cool stuff about them. So, Investors.com reminds Figueres that the only economic model in the last 150 years that has ever worked at all is capitalism. The evidence is prima facie. From a feudal order that lasted 1,000 years, produced zero growth, and kept workdays long and lifespans short, the countries that have embraced free market capitalism have enjoyed a system in which output has increased 70-fold. Workdays have been halved and lifespans doubled. This is horrible. But we knew that this was the case. Okay, so anytime people are like, oh, you don't believe in global warming, you don't believe in climate change. Now, I believe in climate change. I think that the climate naturally changes. I believe that the sun has something to do with it. But I also know that the only stuff that's happening by man is these awful policies that people are trying to put into place so that they can shorten our lifespans, they can sterilize us, they can stop us from having children, they can stop us from being able to carry on the work that we're doing. Okay, so the State of the Union doesn't start until 9:10, guys. I've got Tommy Lahren over here on Fox. We'll be watching this here in just a few minutes. Okay, so actually let me push pause on Tommy Lahren so that I'm not using bandwidth. All right, so, wow, next we have a letter from Roger Stone's attorney. Well, first of all, Lindsey Graham wrote a letter to FBI Director Wray. My questions in full letter to the FBI director about the tactics used in the arrest of Roger Stone. So Lindsey Graham wants answers. He wants answers from Christopher Wray, and he wants them answered now. Now, my friend Sharp Edge replied to Lindsey Graham and I guess Representative Doug Collins and says, can you confirm this letter was received by Stone's attorney, and is there an investigation underway as to the claims that CNN received a draft copy of the indictment 2 days prior to Stone's arrest and 1 full day before it was filed under seal? Let's go ahead and see this letter from Grant Smith. Roger Stone's attorney, Grant Smith, told me the below letter to lawmakers is authentic. Smith wrote that he got a version of Stone's indictment from CNN. Okay, so this is the actual letter that he wrote regarding the metadata. I just thought it would be interesting to show it. We've got actually 20 minutes until the State of the Union 13Q. It starts at 9:10. So this is the letter that Roger Stone's attorney wrote. It goes over the various points of the metadata. As Mr. Stone has repeatedly stated in the days since his arrest, the FBI agents who took him into custody processed him at the Miami field office and searched his home were consummate professionals and were merely executing orders provided to them by their chain of command. Now, it is very interesting to note that Roger Stone was not read his Miranda rights either when he was taken in to custody by the FBI. I think that that might present a problem for them as well. Okay, now you guys are going to love this. Okay, so I'm sure we all heard that from the clown news source that Ruth Bader Ginsburg made a public appearance last night. Well, apparently this is supposed to be the proof of life, that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was alive and well at this event. Now, this is definitely a little old lady. It's starting. Hang on. I don't think that it's starting. No, the State of the Union has not started yet, guys. Okay, so now this looks like a little old lady. I can't tell you if this is Ruth Bader Ginsburg or not. She certainly looks like a hunched over little old lady, but she looks to me like a Ruth Bader Ginsburg body double, okay? Body double. Larry, I am not smoking crack. I am smoking a vaporizer. The Soros arrest was fake, you guys. We got to talk about this, all right? I have seen absolutely nothing to indicate that George Soros was actually arrested, okay? I have only seen it reported by other YouTubers, okay? If anybody can give me any information to show that that George Soros was arrested, I would love to see it. But that story is like a truther fever dream, okay? That is the exact thing that we would want to happen, and they want us talking about it just like they wanted us talking about the demise of RBG the other day. Talking Hands says, thank you for all you bring us. I'm sorry. Thank you for all you bring us. Thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat. So of course, now they're going to probably report that, all of these truthers are out there, oh, George Soros was arrested and blah, blah, blah. But, I hope that Cisco Lady Liberty, happy State of the Union night. Glad you're here. If anybody has anything that they can give me regarding this George Soros arrest, I would love it. There are certain YouTubers out there who get a lot of views because they're willing to report on just about anything. All right. And they have these anonymous sources. And to me, they are no better than the Wall Street Journal, or not the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Times or the New York Times, because they're putting out stories that we are going to love, okay? Of course we're going to be happy if we see that George Soros was arrested. But, I haven't seen any evidence. I haven't seen any evidence of it. If I report on something, excuse me, if I report on something, there are things to back it up. Or I'm going to tell you that this is a theory, all right? I will not come to you with something and say, remember... yes, RBG will not be in attendance tonight. Remember when I reported on the prison barges? Okay, those prison barges were real, all right? And we could tell that they were going down to Gitmo based upon radar data, all right? But I'm not going to tell you that I know that somebody's on it. Clementine Cooper, where we go one, we go all. Thank you very much for that. These super chat sessions are nothing more than a thinly veiled way to what are you talking? Rick Jenkins, no. I'm giving news, okay? This is a live chat. This is a live stream. This is a way to do it. And, either way, if people want to donate, then that's fine. I'm not specifically a Q reporter. I report on the news, and I also happen to report on Q because Q is news. So if anybody out there has a problem, then, find some place to go. So let's look and see what the Washington Post says. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on Monday night made her first public appearance since undergoing cancer surgery in December, attending a celebration of her life presented in song. The 85-year-old justice attended a production of Notorious RBG in song at the National Museum of Women in the Arts in Washington. So basically it says she did not speak. Many in the crowd did not know she was there. She sat in the back, and most saw her only as they left the performance. Michaels did not announce her presence. So I think it's very likely that they had some type of body double for RBG sitting in the back, all right, so that as people walked out, they'd be, oh my goodness, that's... there's RBG. Well, we saw her. All right, now you got eyes on. And of course, if WAPO reported it, then you know it's true. But either way, I do not believe this story. I think that this is fake news. And we've got a much better version of this report from the Gateway Pundit here. General Zod says, you've done well, RedPill78. Your following of my orders is a good idea. Continue your transmission. Thank you, Zod. I kneel before Zod. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Okay, so... Wait, hack reporter who claims he was hugged by RBG deletes tweet, locks Twitter account. Okay, as the Gateway Pundit's Kristen Taylor reported, RBG made her first public appearance Monday night since her lung cancer surgery in December. According to reports, Ginsburg attended a concert celebrating her self-titled Notorious RBG in song that featured her daughter-in-law, soprano Patrice Michaels. Various reporters who attended the event Monday night claimed they saw Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but said she played it low-key and sat in the back of the room. Attendees who saw RBG described her as looking quite glam and magnificent. However, there are no photos of the Supreme Court justice attending that Monday night event. Who said that? That was some guy named Ken or something like that. Hold on. Let's find Ken. Let's see. Where is he? Yeah, there's so many chats. Here we go. It's actually Rick Jenkins. So, Rick, I don't know what you do for a living, but I do reports for all the people that want to watch, and everyone's free to do it. And if they want to support me in any way they can, then that's great. And I will support any of these people out here too, if they are interested in getting their message out, you guys. That's why I've started doing interviews, because I want to give people a platform who would not otherwise have one, so that they can talk to each other and you guys can all connect with each other. And I think we've got a great little family here, and we're back up to 2,360 viewers. Ian McCullough, thank you very much for the super chat. I love that Kanye gif right there. Okay, so Ruth Bader Ginsburg looked glam, apparently. Thorn Andel, love you, brother. State of the Union party here and vaping with you. Thank you, my friend, and thank you for that super chat. A few photos of the event were posted online. However, there are no photos of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So that picture that I had from CJ right here, this is my boy CJ, NV Masters. CJ puts out some good stuff on Twitter. This was apparently her from that event, but it's the only place I've seen it. Now, the AP report showed no photos. They say no photos were allowed, and that Ginsburg's son said she is walking a mile per day. Right? Not even. And everybody, I'm just going to remind you, the State of the Union starts at 9:10 p.m. I've got the Fox News live stream over here to my left on my other monitor so that I can check this. And we're going to go ahead and pull it up. I'm going to see where they're at. Yep, they are definitely showing, the people in the Senate there. And it looks like they are introducing people right now. Madeline Anderson, thank you for that super chat. Do appreciate that, my friend. Now, David Hagedorn, who describes himself as a dining columnist for Arlington and Bethesda magazines, deleted he deleted his tweet and locked his Twitter account after saying that he hugged RBG. What a delight to see RBG tonight at Notorious RBG in song, written and beautifully performed by her daughter-in-law, Patrice Michaels. She sat in the back a few rows behind us looking resplendent, being hugged and wished a happy birthday by her made a grand night spectacular. Wow. I think that he probably deleted it because that never happened, and people called him out because he's a liar. Marie Stearns says, thank you for the live State of the Union. Big fan. Great job. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, my friend. I thank you for the super chat. All right, you guys. So let me see. I've got just a quick little blurb about the military tribunals that are taking place right now in Gitmo. Military Commission's media invitation announced for the United States versus Abd al-Hadi al-Iraqi. So this is scheduling travel for reporters. This is what they need to turn in if they want to get the ticket to Gitmo, and probably need to specify that they are part of the real media rather than the fake news media. All right, so you know what, guys? I think that we're going to go ahead and switch over to the live stream right now. And then I want to remind everybody, after this State of the Union live stream broadcast, I'm going to be joining... Hey, wait, KDG. Is KDG here? Where's KDG? KDG, if you're there, say hi. We will... Wait a second. No sound. Did somebody say no sound? We've got sound. I'm showing sound. Anyways, KDG, if you're here, I'm actually going to be joining KDG and a bunch of other people on Space Shot 76, and I'm going to switch over to the live stream right now, you guys. Give me just a second. I have to pull it up in my, here we go, browser, and okay, and here is the URL, and it will be 1920 by 1080. Okay, guys, here we come. I can see Kansas on the screen. Is this working? That is not working. Let me edit this. Oh, God. Copy. 1920 by 1080. Okay. Okay, here we go.
And he has eagerly sought that support as he wanted to be Secretary of State. And as you remember, the president and the now junior senator from Utah had frog legs and marshmallows and discussed that possibility after the president removed the shoe from his back.
But to insert
Senator
a couple
Romney
of other things
there.
here that, Kennedy, that will also be talked about, and Morgan, we should bring in this because we took the time to go to this briefing.
Thank you for the super chat, Telekalenkas. Hello from Idaho, brother. Rode on plane today with the only civilian interpreter involved in the recovery and transport of MIA soldiers from North Korea. It was a great conversation. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you for the super chat. Irene Unique says, hello from Norway, 3 in the morning here. Excellent. Thank you for the super chat. My friend Lady Q says, love you, Red Pill. Hashtag Team Muffin. That's right. Hashtag Muffin the mascot. Muffin is our official mascot. Did somebody say Space Shot's here too? Space Shot, Mike, are you out there, buddy? Good to see you if you're there. I'm just, I'm going to get this fixed a little bit here. I need to change the aspect ratio just a tad. Just a tad. All right, there we go. That looks good. So let's just turn down the volume on that. So we'll turn that up once the president gets here, but let's talk about what we're seeing. Idaho, represent. The world is watching, you guys, okay? So we've got some people walking in right now. Oh, there's Vice President Pence and Nancy Pelosi dressed in white. Nancy Pelosi is trying to put on an air of sterility, I guess. Rick Hyde Show says, God bless you, Red Pill MAGA. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Here we go. We've got some more people coming in. Leon Best CCFC says, with thanks from the UK for the news updates and live stream of this very important special State of the Union. And the president is in the building. Excellent. President looks great. President is very strong. He looks very confident. Space Shot, I see you there. Thanks, buddy. Glad you're here. Citizens Investigative Report is here. Hello, there we are. That she is. There she is. All right, Hank. Thank you very much for the super chat, Hank. This event has finished. What? They just ended the live stream, you guys. What's going on? What's going on? They just stopped the live stream. They literally just ended the live stream. Hold on, you guys. We're going to go back and we're going to find another stream because I'm sure it's still going someplace. Fox News. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try this one. It says the event has finished. You guys, I'm not joking here. It says that the live stream has finished. How in the world? Okay, so I've got a new link, you guys. Please bear with me. Fox News is having some technical difficulties. Going to put that in. There she is. There she is. And we're back, guys. Here we go. You know, last time I did the White House's, I did the White House stream last time, guys, and for some reason it was much quieter than the Fox News stream. So we're gonna do the Fox because they've got this excellent view right here behind the president. President Donald Trump now shaking the hands of his top military brass, making his way to the podium. There we go. Yes, oh, shaking a gentleman's hand who can't get up to shake his. The president is such a class act. Such a class act. God, you guys, I am so excited. This is going to be the best State of the Union ever. Oh, listen to that! They look like a cult.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States. And my fellow Americans, we meet tonight at a moment of unlimited potential. As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation. The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people. Many of us have campaigned on the same core promises to defend American jobs and demand fair trade for American workers, to rebuild and revitalize our nation's infrastructure, to reduce the price of health care and prescription drugs, to create an immigration system that is safe, lawful, modern, and secure, and to pursue a foreign policy that puts America's interest first. There is a new opportunity in American politics if only we have the courage together to seize it. Victory is not winning for our party. Victory is winning for our country. This year, America will recognize two important anniversaries that show us the majesty of America's mission and the power of American pride. In June, we mark 75 years since the start of what General Dwight D. Eisenhower called the Great Crusade, the Allied liberation of Europe in World War II. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, 15,000 young American men jumped from the sky and 60,000 more stormed in from the sea to save our civilization from tyranny. Here with us tonight are three of those incredible heroes. Private First Class Joseph Riley, Staff Sergeant Irving Locker, and Sergeant Herman Zaitchik. Gentlemen, we salute you. In 2019, we also celebrate 50 years since brave young pilots flew 250,000 miles through space to plant the American flag on the face of the moon. Half a century later, we are joined by one of the Apollo 11 astronauts who planted that flag, Buzz Aldrin. Thank you, Buzz. This year, American astronauts will go back to space on American rockets. In the 20th century, America saved freedom, transformed science, redefined the middle class, and when you get down to it, there's nothing anywhere in the world that can compete with America. Now we must step boldly and bravely into the next chapter of this great American adventure. And we must create a new standard of living for the 21st century. An amazing quality of life for all of our citizens is within reach. We can make our community safer, our families stronger, our culture richer, our faith deeper, and our middle class bigger and more prosperous than ever before. But we must reject the politics of revenge, resistance, and retribution, and embrace the boundless potential of cooperation, compromise, and the common good. Together, we can break decades of political stalemate. We can bridge old divisions, heal old wounds, build new coalitions, forge new solutions, and unlock the extraordinary promise of America's future. The decision is ours to make. We must choose between greatness or gridlock, results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction. Tonight, I ask you to choose greatness. Over the last 2 years, my administration has moved with urgency and historic speed to confront problems neglected by leaders of both parties over many decades. In just over 2 years since the election, we have launched an unprecedented economic boom, a boom that has rarely been seen before. There's been nothing like it. We have created 5.3 million new jobs, and importantly added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. But the fact is, we are just getting started. Wages are rising at the fastest pace in decades and growing for blue-collar workers who I promised to fight for. They're growing faster than anyone else thought possible. Nearly 5 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps. The U.S. economy is growing almost twice as fast today as when I took office. And we are considered far and away the hottest economy anywhere in the world, not even close. Unemployment has reached the lowest rate in over half a century. African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment have all reached their lowest levels ever recorded. unemployment for Americans with disabilities has also reached an all-time low. More people are working now than at any time in the history of our country. 157 million people at work. We passed a massive tax cut for working families and doubled the child tax credit. We virtually ended the estate tax, or death tax, as it is often called, on small businesses, for ranches, and also for family farms. We eliminated the very unpopular Obamacare individual mandate penalty. And to give critically ill patients access to life-saving cures, we passed, very importantly, right to try. My administration has cut more regulations in a short period of time than any other administration during its entire tenure. Companies are coming back to our country in large numbers, thanks to our historic reductions in taxes and regulations. And we have unleashed a revolution in American energy. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world. And now, for the first time in 65 years, we are a net exporter of energy. After 24 months of rapid progress, our economy is the envy of the world. Our military is the most powerful on earth by far. And America is again winning each and every day. Members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. That sounds so good. Our country is vibrant and our economy is thriving like never before. On Friday, it was announced that we added another 304,000 jobs last month alone, almost double the number expected. economic miracle is taking place in the United States, and the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan investigations. If there is going to be peace and legislation, there cannot be war and investigation. It just doesn't work that way. We must be united at home to defeat our adversaries abroad. This new era of cooperation can start with finally confirming the more than 300 highly qualified nominees who are still stuck in the Senate, in some cases years and years waiting. Not right. The Senate has failed to act on these nominations, which is unfair to the nominees and very unfair to our country. Now is the time for bipartisan action. Believe it or not, we have already proven that that's possible. In the last Congress, both parties came together to pass unprecedented legislation to confront the opioid crisis, a sweeping new farm bill, historic VA reforms, and after 4 decades of rejection, we passed VA accountability so that we can finally terminate those who mistreat our wonderful veterans. And just weeks ago, both parties united for groundbreaking criminal justice reform. They said it couldn't be done. Last year, I heard through friends the story of Alice Johnson. I was deeply moved. In 1997, Alice was sentenced to life in prison as a first-time nonviolent drug offender. Over the next 22 years, she became a prison minister, inspiring others to choose a better path. She had a big impact on that prison population and far beyond. Alice's story underscores the disparities and unfairness that can exist in criminal sentencing and the need to remedy this total injustice. She served almost that 22 years and had expected to be in prison for the remainder of her life. In June, I commuted Alice's sentence. When I saw Alice's beautiful family greet her at the prison gates, hugging and kissing and crying and laughing, I knew I did something right. Alice is with us tonight, and she is a terrific woman. Terrific. Alice, please. Alice, thank you for reminding us that we always have the power to shape our own destiny. Thank you very much, Alice. Thank you very much. Inspired by stories like Alice's, my administration worked closely with members of both parties to sign the First Step Act into law. Big deal. It's a big deal. This legislation reformed sentencing laws that have wrongly and disproportionately harmed the African American community. The First Step Act gives nonviolent offenders the chance to re-enter society as productive, law-abiding citizens. Now, states across the country are following our lead. America is a nation that believes in redemption. We are also joined tonight by Matthew Charles from Tennessee. In 1996, at the age of 30, Matthew was sentenced to 35 years for selling drugs and related offenses. Over the next 2 decades, he completed more than 30 Bible studies, became a law clerk, and mentored many of his fellow inmates. Now Matthew is the very first person to be released from prison under the First Step Act. Matthew, please. Thank you, Matthew. Welcome home. Now, Republicans and Democrats must join forces again to confront an urgent national crisis. Congress has 10 days left to pass a bill that will fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border. Now is the time for Congress to show the world that America is committed to ending illegal immigration and putting the ruthless coyotes, cartels, drug dealers, and human traffickers out of business. As we speak, large, organized caravans are on the march to the United States. We have just heard that Mexican cities, in order to remove the illegal immigrants from their communities, are getting trucks and buses to bring them up to our country in areas where there is little border protection. I have ordered another 3,750 troops to our southern border to prepare for this tremendous onslaught. This is a moral issue. The lawless state of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America. We have a moral duty to create an immigration system that protects the lives and jobs of our citizens. This includes our obligation to the millions of immigrants living here today who followed the rules and respected our laws. Legal immigrants enrich our nation and strengthen our society in countless ways. I want people to come into our country in the largest numbers ever, but they have to come in legally. Tonight I am asking you to defend our very dangerous southern border out of love and devotion to our fellow citizens and to our country. No issue better illustrates the divide between America's working class and America's political class than illegal immigration. Wealthy politicians and donors push for open borders while living their lives behind walls and gates and guards. Meanwhile, working class Americans are left to pay the price for mass illegal immigration. Reduced jobs, lower wages, overburdened schools, hospitals that are so crowded you can't get in, increased crime, and a depleted social safety net. Tolerance for illegal immigration is not compassionate, it is actually very cruel. One in 3 women is sexually assaulted on the long journey north. Smugglers use migrant children as human pawns to exploit our laws and gain access to our country. Human traffickers and sex traffickers take advantage of the wide open areas between our ports of entry to smuggle thousands of young girls and women into the United States and to sell them into prostitution and modern-day slavery. Tens of thousands of innocent Americans are killed by lethal drugs that cross our border and flood into our cities, including meth, heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl. The savage gang, MS-13, now operates in at least 20 different American states, and they almost all come through our southern border. Just yesterday, an MS-13 gang member was taken into custody for a fatal shooting on a subway platform in New York City. We are removing these gang members by the thousands, but until we secure our border, they're going to keep streaming right back in. Year after year, countless Americans are murdered by criminal, illegal aliens. I've gotten to know many wonderful angel moms and dads and families. No one should ever have to suffer the horrible heartache that they have had to endure. Here tonight is Deborah Bissell. Just 3 weeks ago, Deborah's parents, Gerald and Sharon, were burglarized and shot to death in their Reno, Nevada home by an illegal alien. They were in their 80s and are survived by 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and 20 great-grandchildren. Also here tonight are Gerald and Sharon's granddaughter, Heather, and great-granddaughter, Madison. To Deborah, Heather, Madison, please stand. Few can understand your pain. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I will never forget, and I will fight for the memory of Gerald and Sharon, that it should never happen again. Not one more American life should be lost because our nation failed to control its very dangerous border. In the last 2 years, our brave ICE officers made 266,000 arrests of criminal aliens, including those charged or convicted of nearly 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, and 4,000 killings or murders. We are joined tonight by one of those law enforcement heroes, ICE Special Agent Elvin Hernandez. When Elvin When Elvin was a boy, he and his family legally immigrated to the United States from the Dominican Republic. At the age of 8, Elvin told his dad he wanted to become a special agent. Today, he leads investigations into the scourge of international sex trafficking. Elvin says that if I can make sure these young girls get their justice, I've really done my job. Thanks to his work and that of his incredible colleagues, more than 300 women and girls have been rescued from the horror of this terrible situation. And more than 1,500 sadistic traffickers have been put behind bars. We will always support the brave men and women of law enforcement. And I pledge to you tonight that I will never abolish our heroes from ICE. Thank you. My administration has sent to Congress a common sense proposal to end the crisis on the southern border. It includes humanitarian assistance, more law enforcement, drug detection at our ports, closing loopholes that enable child smuggling, and plans for a new physical barrier or wall to secure the vast areas between our ports of entry. In the past, most of the people in this room voted for a wall. But the proper wall never got built. I will get it built. This is a smart, strategic, see-through steel barrier, not just a simple concrete wall. It will be deployed in the areas identified by the border agents as having the greatest need. And these agents will tell you where walls go up, illegal crossings go way, way down. San Diego used to have the most illegal border crossings in our country. In response, a strong security wall was put in place. This powerful barrier almost completely ended illegal crossings. The border city of El Paso, Texas, used to have extremely high rates of violent crime, one of the highest in the entire country, and considered one of our nation's most dangerous cities. Now, immediately upon its building, with a powerful barrier in place, El Paso is one of the safest cities in our country. Simply put, walls work and walls save lives. So let's work together, compromise, and reach a deal that will truly make America safe. As we work to defend our people's safety, we must also ensure our economic resurgence continues at a rapid pace. No one has benefited more from our thriving economy than women, who have filled 58% of the newly created jobs last year. You weren't supposed to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All Americans can be proud that we have more women in the workforce than ever before. Don't sit yet. You're going to like this. And exactly 1 century after Congress passed the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote, we also have more women serving in Congress than at any time before. That's great. Very great. And congratulations. That's great. As part of our commitment to improving opportunity for women everywhere, this Thursday, we are launching the first ever government-wide initiative focused on economic empowerment for women in developing countries. To build on, thank you. To build on our incredible economic success, one priority is paramount: reversing decades of calamitous trade policies. So bad. We are now making it clear to China that after years of targeting our industries and stealing our intellectual property, the theft of American jobs and wealth has come to an end. Therefore, we recently imposed tariffs on $250 billion of Chinese goods, and now our Treasury is receiving billions and billions of dollars. But I don't blame China for taking advantage of us. I blame our leaders and representatives for allowing this travesty to happen. I have great respect for President Xi, and we are now working on a new trade deal with China. But it must include real structural change to end unfair trade practices, reduce our chronic trade deficit, and protect American jobs. Another historic trade blunder was the catastrophe known as NAFTA. I have met the men and women of Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, New Hampshire, and many other states whose dreams were shattered by the signing of NAFTA. For years, politicians promised them they would renegotiate for a better deal, but no one ever tried until now. Our new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, will replace NAFTA and deliver for American workers like they haven't had delivered to for a long time. I hope you can pass the USMCA into law so that we can bring back our manufacturing jobs in even greater numbers, expand American agriculture, protect intellectual property, and ensure that more cars are proudly stamped with our 4 beautiful words, made in the USA. Tonight, I am also asking you to pass the United States Reciprocal Trade Act so that if another country places an unfair tariff on an American product, we can charge them the exact same tariff on the exact same product that they sell to us. Both parties should be able to unite for a great rebuilding of America's crumbling infrastructure. I know that Congress is eager to pass an infrastructure bill, and I am eager to work with you on legislation to deliver new and important infrastructure investment, including investments in the cutting-edge industries of the future. This is not an option. This is a necessity. The next major priority for me and for all of us should be to lower the cost of health care and prescription drugs, and to protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Already as a result of my administration's efforts in 2018, drug prices experienced their single largest decline in 46 years. But we must do more. It's unacceptable that Americans pay vastly more than people in other countries for the exact same drugs, often made in the exact same place. This is wrong, this is unfair, And together, we will stop it, and we'll stop it fast. I am asking Congress to pass legislation that finally takes on the problem of global freeloading and delivers fairness and price transparency for American patients, finally. We should also require drug companies, insurance companies, and hospitals to disclose real prices to foster competition and bring costs way down. No force in history has done more to advance the human condition than American freedom. In recent years, we have made remarkable progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Scientific breakthroughs have brought a once distant dream within reach. My budget will ask Democrats and Republicans to make the needed commitment to eliminate the HIV epidemic in the United States within 10 years. We have made incredible strides, incredible. Together, we will defeat AIDS in America and beyond. Tonight, I am also asking you to join me in another fight that all Americans can get behind, the fight against childhood cancer. Joining Melania in the gallery this evening is a very brave 10-year-old girl, Grace Eline. Every birthday, hi, Grace. Every birthday since she was 4, Grace asked her friends to donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. She did not know that one day she might be a patient herself. That's what happened. Last year, Grace was diagnosed with brain cancer. Immediately, she began radiation treatment. At the same time, she rallied her community and raised more than $40,000 for the fight against cancer. When Grace completed treatment last fall, her doctors and nurses cheered. They loved her. They still love her. With tears in their eyes, as she hung up a poster that read, "Last day of chemo." Thank you very much, Grace. You are a great inspiration to everyone in this room. Thank you very much. Many childhood cancers have not seen new therapies in decades. My budget will ask Congress for $500 million over the next 10 years to fund this critical life-saving research. To help support working parents, the time has come to pass school choice for Americans' children. I am also proud to be the first president to include in my budget a plan for nationwide paid family leave so that every new parent has the chance to bond with their newborn child. There could be no greater contrast to the beautiful image of a mother holding her infant child than the chilling displays our nation saw in recent days. Lawmakers in New York cheered with delight upon the passage of legislation that would allow a baby to be ripped from the mother's womb moments from birth. These are living, feeling, beautiful babies who will never get the chance to share their love and their dreams with the world. And then we had the case of the governor of Virginia, where he stated he would execute a baby after birth. To defend the dignity of every person, I am asking Congress to pass legislation to prohibit the late-term abortion of children who can feel pain in the mother's womb. Let us work together to build a culture that cherishes innocent life. And let us reaffirm a fundamental truth. All children, born and unborn, are made in the holy image of God.
Yes.
The final part of my agenda is to protect American security. Over the last 2 years, we have begun to fully rebuild the United States military with $700 billion last year and $716 billion this year. We are also getting other nations to pay their fair share. Finally. For years, the United States was being treated very unfairly by friends of ours, members of NATO. But now we have secured, over the last couple of years, more than $100 billion of increase in defense spending from our NATO allies. They said it couldn't be done. As part of our military buildup, the United States is developing a state-of-the-art missile defense system. Under my administration, we will never apologize for advancing America's interests. For example, decades ago, the United States entered into a treaty with Russia in which we agreed to limit and reduce our missile capability. While we followed the agreement and the rules to the letter, Russia repeatedly violated its terms. It's been going on for many years. That is why I announced that the United States is officially withdrawing from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or INF Treaty. Perhaps we really have no choice. Perhaps we can negotiate a different agreement, adding China and others. Or perhaps we can't, in which case we will outspend and out-innovate all others by far. As part of a bold new diplomacy, we continue our historic push for peace on the Korean Peninsula. Our hostages have come home. Nuclear testing has stopped, and there has not been a missile launch in more than 15 months. If I had not been elected President of the United States, we would right now, in my opinion, be in a major war with North Korea. Much work remains to be done, but my relationship with Kim Jong-un is a good one. Chairman Kim and I will meet again on February 27th and 28th in Vietnam. Two weeks ago, the United States officially recognized the legitimate government of Venezuela and its new president, Juan Guaido. We stand with the Venezuelan people in their noble quest for freedom, and we condemn the brutality of the Maduro regime, whose socialist policies have turned that nation from being the wealthiest in South America into a state of abject poverty and despair. Here in the United States, we are alarmed by the new calls to adopt socialism in our country. America was founded on liberty and independence, and not government coercion, domination, and control. We are born free, and we will stay free. USA. Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country. One of the most complex set of challenges we face and have for many years is in the Middle East. Our approach is based on principle realism, not discredited theories that have failed for decades to yield progress. For this reason, my administration recognized the true capital of Israel and proudly opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Our brave troops have now been fighting in the Middle East for almost 19 years. In Afghanistan and Iraq, nearly 7,000 American heroes have given their lives. More than 52,000 Americans have been badly wounded. We have spent more than $7 trillion in fighting wars in the Middle East. As a candidate for president, I loudly pledged a new approach. Great nations do not fight endless wars. When I took office, ISIS controlled more than 20,000 square miles in Iraq and Syria just 2 years ago. Today, we have liberated virtually all of the territory from the grip of these bloodthirsty monsters. Now, as we work with our allies to destroy the remnants of ISIS, it is time to give our brave warriors in Syria a warm welcome home. I have also accelerated our negotiations to reach, if possible, a political settlement in Afghanistan. The opposing side is also very happy to be negotiating. Our troops have fought with unmatched valor, and thanks to their bravery, we are now able to pursue a possible political solution to this long and bloody conflict. In Afghanistan, my administration is holding constructive talks with a number of Afghan groups, including the Taliban. As we make progress in these negotiations, we will be able to reduce our troops' presence and focus on counterterrorism, and we will indeed focus on counterterrorism. We do not know whether we'll achieve an agreement, but we do know that after 2 decades of war, the hour has come to at least try for peace, and the other side would like to do the same thing. It's time. Above all, friend and foe alike must never doubt this nation's power and will to defend our people. 18 years ago, violent terrorists attacked the USS Cole, and last month, American forces killed one of the leaders of that attack. We are honored to be joined tonight by Tom Wibberley, whose son, Navy seaman Craig Wibberley, was one of the 17 sailors we tragically lost. Tom, we vow to always remember the heroes of the USS Cole. Thank you, Tom. My administration has acted decisively to confront the world's leading state sponsor of terror, the radical regime in Iran. It is a radical regime. They do bad, bad things. To ensure this corrupt dictatorship never acquires nuclear weapons, I withdrew the United States from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. And last fall, we put in place the toughest sanctions ever imposed by us on a country. We will not avert our eyes from a regime that chants death to America and threatens genocide against the Jewish people. We must never ignore the vile poison of anti-Semitism or those who spread its venomous creed. With one voice, we must confront this hatred anywhere and everywhere it occurs. Just months ago, 11 Jewish Americans were viciously murdered in an anti-Semitic attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. SWAT officer Timothy Matson raced into the gunfire and was shot 7 times chasing down the killer, and he was very successful. Timothy has just had his 12th surgery, and he's going in for many more. But he made the trip to be here with us tonight. Officer Matson, please. Thank you. We are forever grateful. Thank you very much. Tonight, we are also joined by Pittsburgh survivor, Judah Samet. He arrived at the synagogue as the massacre began. But not only did Judah narrowly escape death last fall, more than 7 decades ago, he narrowly survived the Nazi concentration camps. Today is Judah's 81st birthday. They wouldn't do that for me, Judah. Judah says he can still remember the exact moment nearly 75 years ago, after 10 months in a concentration camp, when he and his family were put on a train and told they were going to another camp. Suddenly, the train screeched to a very strong halt. A soldier appeared. Judah's family braced for the absolute worst. Then his father cried out with joy, "It's the Americans, it's the Americans." Thank you. A second Holocaust survivor who is here tonight, Joshua Kaufman, was a prisoner at Dachau. He remembers watching through a hole in the wall of a cattle car as American soldiers rolled in with tanks. To me, Joshua recalls, the American soldiers were proof that God exists. And they came down from the sky. They came down from heaven. I began this evening by honoring 3 soldiers who fought on D-Day in the Second World War. One of them was Herman Zaitchik. But there is more to Herman's story. A year after he stormed the beaches of Normandy, Herman was one of the American soldiers who helped liberate Dachau. He was one of the Americans who helped rescue Joshua from that hell on earth. Almost 75 years later, Herman and Joshua are both together in the gallery tonight, seated side by side, here in the home of American freedom. Herman and Joshua, your presence this evening is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you. When American soldiers set out beneath the dark skies over the English Channel in the early hours of D-Day 1944, they were just young men of 18 and 19 hurtling on fragile landing craft toward the most momentous battle in the history of war. They did not know if they would survive the hour. They did not know if they would grow old, but they knew that America had to prevail. Their cause was this nation and generations yet unborn. Why did they do it? They did it for America. They did it for us. Everything that has come since our triumph over communism, our giant leaps of science and discovery, our unrivaled progress towards equality and justice, All of it is possible thanks to the blood and tears and courage and vision of the Americans who came before. Think of this Capitol. Think of this very chamber where lawmakers before you voted to end slavery, to build the railroads and the highways, and defeat fascism, to secure civil rights, and to face down evil empires. Here tonight, we have legislators from across this magnificent republic. You have come from the rocky shores of Maine and the volcanic peaks of Hawaii, from the snowy woods of Wisconsin and the red deserts of Arizona, from the green farms of Kentucky and the golden beaches of California. Together we represent the most extraordinary nation in all of history. What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? I ask the men and women of this Congress, look at the opportunities before us. Our most thrilling achievements are still ahead. Our most exciting journeys still await. Our biggest victories are still to come. We have not yet begun to dream. We must choose whether we are defined by our differences or whether we dare to transcend them. We must choose whether we squander our great inheritance or whether we proudly declare that we are Americans. We do the incredible. We defy the impossible. We conquer the unknown. This is the time to reignite the American imagination. This is the time to search for the tallest summit and set our sights on the brightest star. This is the time to rekindle the bonds of love and loyalty and memory that link us together as citizens, as neighbors, as patriots. This is our future, our fate, and our choice to make. I am asking you to choose greatness. No matter the trials we face, no matter the challenges to come, we must go forward together. We must keep America first in our hearts. We must keep freedom alive in our souls. And we must always keep faith in America's destiny. That one nation, under God, must be the hope and the promise and the light and the glory among all the nations of the world. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
God bless America. God bless America. What do you guys think? That was a great State of the Union. Now, we've got a lot of people in the chat. Well, not a lot of people. We got a lot of trolls. Several trolls in the chat saying that nothing's happening. Concern fags. And don't want to admit that this is exactly what America needed. America needed our president to bring us together as a country, and he has done that more than any other leader in the history of our nation. President Trump is not just making America great again. He is making Americans great again. He is bringing us together. He is bringing the national fabric of our nation together. And he is bringing not only peace to the world, but peace to the streets. I think that President Trump delivered the State of the Union that this country needed. He showed our nation, he showed the Democrats exactly what he's about. And the times when those Democrats didn't stand up, it made them look just pitiful. Talk about sour grapes. That's the Democrats. That's Nancy Pelosi sitting there behind her vodka rack, reading her notes, taking notes on what the president was saying. Now, I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I'd like to invite you over to SpaceShot76's channel. Mike, if you're in the chat still, I just want to verify that live stream starts at 11 o'clock. I've also got a couple of people I need to thank. We've got RB's Reflection. Thank you for the super chat. Marliza Rodriguez, thank you very much for the super chat. Madeline Anderson, thank you for the super chat. Silver Umbrella, thank you for that super chat during the State of the Union. Jeff Hughes, thank you for the super chat. Also, Maria and Thorn Andel, my friends here in Maria Littlefield. So, what do you guys think? Hopefully, you enjoyed this as much as I did. I want to thank everyone for sticking through all of the BS that YouTube was putting us through, all of the drops and the stalling. In the end, it was worth it. I sure hope that it was worth it. Space Shop started already. Okay, you guys, come with us over to SpaceShot76 and let's listen to that live stream. I'm going to be live there in just a moment. You've been listening to RedPill78. I am the corruption detector, and this was State of the Union 2019. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Ooh, but before I go, Ani James says, love you, Patriots. I love you too, hun. Thank you very much for that super chat. Join me over at SpaceShot76. Good luck, everyone, and God bless.